Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video I'm going to be going over my new design for my pattern collections. This is my Christmas design 05. It is the first one that I have tried to redo in my new setup. The first page is just useful information. On the second page you will find color count for the round doilies and the hexagon doilies. Then there'll be color count for the bands, and then we have a size chart. In it I tried to include as many of the most popular beads as possible. If you have a different bead but you know which bead size it's similar to, you can use it. We have the delicate beads, we have two size of seed beads, then we have the 4mm crystal, which is one of the bead types the patterns were originally created for, and then the four main sizes of the faceted beads that I use, the 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. And then we have the patterns. Each of the round doilies include the hexagon version also for the three smallest doilies. The hexagon is created by just adding corners to the round. So inside here is the round, and then you have the hexagon if you prefer to use the hexagon or the round. For the round you could mark off the hexagon or just use it as it is. But for the larger patterns, hopefully you can see that the hexagon is created by staying within the black line. If you need to, you can mark off the extra rows that are the round, or you could cut it out with scissors. And that is true for all of the larger circles, and the pattern includes quite a few different sizes. As you will notice, when you go to print, you'll want to check, because we've had this problem with our printing, that it is set to landscape, because a lot of programs will open up the PDF files and then it will print it in portrait instead of landscape. And as you can see here, let me find the right page, it makes it quite a bit difference in size, so it'll be much harder to read if it prints it in portrait. So you want to make sure that your printer or print properties is set to print your pattern in the landscape format. And the way I've done the patterns, you can also print them in black and white, and then you just follow the letter for the color that you need. One trick I do is sometimes I will write the letter on the bead package or whatever your bead is inside of, so that you can easily figure out which color is which letter. And here it is, also the larger one done in black and white. Now I'm going to start with the hexagon in this video. I'm going to show you how to create one of the smaller doilies using the hexagon. There are three small patterns, as I said, and the small ones just have the corners added to do the hexagon, so we will make sure to include the corners for this piece. In the larger patterns you would just stay inside the lines. Now on the pattern you will notice there is a sort of pattern name. The number stands for the bead it was originally created for, which is the 4mm faceted beads. And for like this one here, you'll see it's 8S6C40. That means that it was created for 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. And the letter tells you what it was originally created for. For the 4mm, it was meant to be an ornament. For the 6mm, coaster. And for the 8mm, it was the small doily. And I have sizes for the 4mm, for the millimeter beads. We have small, coaster, ornament, pendant, earring, medium, and large. But as you can see from the size charts, I have put all of the different sizes in with their size. So if you need a doily to be a certain size, you just look at your bead type, which I mostly use the 4mm faceted beads, and you look at the different sizes, and then you choose the pattern by the size that you need your doily to be. Here is the smallest pattern, and I have created some samples of hexagon. In this one I have changed the colors using the exact same pattern and made different colors. This one is what my original design was made for. It is the lighter red with sun gold, which is Christmas red, and then the dark avocado. But I find I actually prefer the darker red, which is ruby, and so I will be making this piece with the darker red. And here are the colors that I am using. We have number 18 ruby, number 4 dark avocado, number 23 sun gold. And just for those who like to use seed beads, here is a doily made with seed beads, this piece right here. And the colors I used for this piece, though you can use many different colors, I used silver lined gold, silver lined fire red, and silver lined olive. And I will be using my fishing line with my plastic faceted beads. And in this video, I'm going to create the hexagon pattern with my 2-needle technique. There are 4 different ways to create the hexagon pattern, and I will be showing them in different videos. But I'm going to start with the one that I use the most, which is the 2-needle stitch. Now when I create my doilies, I start on one side and I go up, and then I come down and up. There is another way that I've heard people do, which I will be making videos for, but we're going to do it that way this time. So we start right here, and that is your start bead. So we'll put that on. And then you put a bead on each string. We have and then a bead on each string again. And then we cross. Then we move up to the next circle, and we will put in 2 beads on each string, and this time they're the same color. And then we will cross. And now for the last circle, we want to actually cross over here, so the right string will get 3 beads and the left string will get 1 bead. And these are all going to be the same color. Put 1 and then 3 on this string. And then we cross. And then a good idea is to check your work before you go on to the next. We have the 3 reds here, 3 reds here, have our yellows in the center, and then a yellow here and here. We're good. Now we want the string coming out of the top, towards the top of our finished row. And on this one, we're going to add all 4 of the first beads, and then we're going to cross the 5th one. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4 beads. This time they're all the same color. And then we will cross I like to keep my finished row to the right, and then you take your right string and you go through the first 2 side beads, bring your strings up, and now you're going to add 2 onto the left. We want a red and a dark avocado. And then we're going to cross the next one. Now we will go through our next 2 side beads. We'll add 2 beads to the left. And we will cross. Now, as this row is slightly longer than the previous row, we are only going to go through 1 side bead this time. And this string that went through our side bead, we are going to add 1, 2, 3. Nope, we're going to add just 2 to it, because our next row is longer, so we'll add 2 to it. And we will add 1 to the other string. Oops. Okay, make sure you have 2 on this one and 1. Good. Then we will cross. There is where we should be. We want the string coming out towards the end of our row. And then we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want 3 reds and a yellow. And then we're going to cross with a red. We'll go through our 2 side beads. Right, and we're coming up our row, so we want 2 on our left. and then we will cross. Now this C marks the center of our pattern. We do not use it in this stitch technique, but one of the stitch techniques I will be showing you, you will be using the C to determine where the center of your pattern is. I have it on all of my circle hexagon patterns for if you would like to use the hexagon technique. Now we're going to add, we went through our 2 side beads, we're going to add 2 to our left and cross. Now we'll go through the next 2 side beads. We will add 2 and cross. And as this row is slightly longer than the previous, we will go through 1 side bead this time. Then we will take the string that went through the side bead, and this time we're going to add 1, 2, 3 to it, and then cross here as the next row is shorter, so we want to end here. We will add 3, 1, 2, 3, and we will cross. And now, let's go back because I kind of did that automatically. Once you've crossed, you want to take the string that is coming down towards your finished area and go through the next bead on the side, and then you're coming out 2 side beads, which is what you need to do begin the next row. And you're going to take the string coming out towards the top of your finished row, and you're going to add 3 to it. And then you're going to cross and go through the next 2 side beads. Then we'll add 2 to our left. And we will cross. Go through the next 2 side beads. Then we will add 2 to the left. And cross. Now you want the string coming out towards the end of the previous row, and we're going to add 1, 2 to it. And then we're going to cross with the third. we're going to take the string coming down towards our finished row and go through the next side bead so that we're coming out 2 side beads like this. And we want the string coming out towards the end of our finished row, and we're going to add 1, 2, 3 beads. And then we're going to cross. Go through our next 2 side beads. And then we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, we want to add 2. Oh. And then, oh, it's yellow. We will cross with a 3rd. We'll go through our 2 side beads. And now, as this is our final circle, we will add 2 to the left as usual, and then we will add 1 to the right, let them drop, then we will make our knot. So we will go over once, regular knot, bring it down, then we'll go over twice, 1, 2, bring it down, but don't pull tight yet. Bring it down, just so that your knots are together, and then slip your string into your 1 bead and pull the knot inside the bead, and then pull tight. And there, your knot is nicely hidden inside your bead. And then I like to thread back 2 circles, so we'll go through 2 side beads on this side, then we'll go through 2 side beads on this side. And bring our string together, clip off your excess, and there you have your hexagon. Now, I mostly work with round, so my mind does not come up with any really neat things you can make with this, but this here is for in case you want to add a accessory. For example, here's a round where I have added an earring, so you could add an earring piece here. This is my earring size. So you could do that. This piece, do I have the beads? I forgot to bring in the bead colors, but that is one thing you can do with your piece, is make it into an earring. If you choose to use the tiny beads, you'll still just put your earring piece right here. The holes are big enough that the earring piece will definitely still fit, and then you can have that for an earring. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please look at my other hexagon versions.